Damage shifting is one of the strongest defensive mechanics in the game. Currently, Fizz taken as elemental is a really popular way to deal with physical damage since it's fairly low investment and, unlike armor, it doesn't get diminished when taking large hits. Shifting from elemental is less common but still very effective. It gets around penetration, which is a lot more dangerous than you might think. Let's say you have 75 cold res. Against cold damage, you're only taking 25% of the raw hit. If that hit penetrates 40% cold res, then you're now taking 65% of the raw hit, which is 160% more damage. Say you're investing in max res and have 90%. 40% penetration is like taking 400% more damage. Now, if you were to shift away that cold damage, the penetration doesn't get converted and now you don't have to worry about some of the most deadly things in the game. The most common large sources of elemental shifting come from Divine Flesh and Tempered by War. Now these are usually mutually exclusive since they come from timeless jewels which you can only have one of. Here's where this shield comes in. It has, along with 5 other keystones, Divine Flesh on it, which allows you to get Tempered by War on a timeless jewel. The combination of these 2 keystones shifts all incoming cold and lightning damage into 50% fire and 50% chaos damage. This allows you to completely forego cold and lightning mitigation. If you can additionally shift most of the incoming physical damage into fire or chaos, then you'll have a very efficient way to scale defenses with max res and a ruby flask. Now let's look at what else this shield gives you. Everlasting Sacrifice, unlike the other keystones, is exclusive to this shield. It sacrifices all your energy shield when you reach full ES. Then, for 4 seconds, you gain +5 all res, including Chaos, which works really well with Divine Flesh. If you can constantly fill your ES every 4 seconds, then you effectively gain +5 all resistances, which is insane, as it lets you easily cap your max res. Now the other keystones make it a bit more difficult to automate the ES filling process though. Corrupted Soul gives you a large ES pool, and Immortal Ambition makes it so your ES starts at 0. It also disables ES recharge and regeneration, and drains 5% of your ES every second. However, it gives you a way to fill your energy shield via Overleech that overflows into your ES. This shield actually makes you pretty leech reliant, with Volpact disabling your regen, but Eternal Youth cancels out the benefit of Volpact. So this is actually more detrimental than just nullifying your regen, because now you have to rely on Leech, but you don't get access to Volpact on the tree. And during stuff like Uberboss minigame phases where you usually can't Leech or use on-hit effects but you can still take damage, you can't reliably gain the Everlasting Sacrifice buff. But here's where Pathfinder and Replica Sorrow of the Divine come in. This flask makes it so that your Life Flask also applies to your energy shield, and with Pathfinder's Master Surgeon you can constantly have a Life Flask running, which means your ES is constantly filling, granting you the Everlasting Sacrifice buff permanently. The Enduring Life Flask effect also fixes life sustain issues you might run into with the shield, removing your reliance on Leech. This means you can make full use of the shield on dot builds too. In addition, this last line on Sorrow of the Divine gives you another keystone, Eldritch Battery, for free. This means you can make use of the large ES pool you get from Corrupted Soul and get another aura with Divine Blessing. It also fixes all your mana issues and allows you to reserve all your mana. If built around properly, this shield is actually insane.